woke up in the morning, had a dream of getting paid. I done made a couple moves, now I got money on the
Alright. You want anything or straight into it?
Okay, well, introduce it.
for a second. Hopefully now they know my name, so go get your cash up.
Ready?
Go get your bag.
Hey, is it hey or hi?
So fuck what they heard, now fuck what they said.
Hey guys. Hey guys.
Hey, yeah.
Hey guys. Okay.
Alright. You ready?
1, 2, 3, go. Hey guys. Why are you not doing it?
Oh, we're supposed to do it together?
Together.
Okay, cool.
1, 2, 3, go.
Hey guys, welcome to the Big Brother podcast powered by Tickzon scheme where we tried to, wow, I was about to go with the other, wrong intro. Alright, cool. Let's do this. Alright, ready?
1, 2, 3, go. Hey guys.
That 1, 2, 3 was not inspiring.
1,
Okay.
2, 3.
Hey guys, welcome to the Big Brother podcast powered by Tickzon scheme. This is the wealth of knowledge, experience, episodes. Are we just two, and it's the part 2 of our conversation of things that if you knew would have made your life easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed the last one, by the way.
Hopefully you gained something because we were talking a lot, and to be honest, this is the beginning days. We'll be coherent in the future.
Yeah. And if you are hearing anything in the background, it's raining. Like, we've been trying to pray that it stops, but
Rain, go away, come again another day. Little children want to play.
little children want to record in peace. But,
Okay.
wait, hold on. Before we get into the video, please like if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, leave a comment because we actually read it
Yeah.
and we respond to everything.
Yes.
So do leave a comment, share, get somebody to come and watch with you, okay? And let's get right into it.
Okay.
And then our intro.
Oh, what the?
Yeah. Yeah, that one.
Oh, I was
love
gonna
it.
make a new intro for it.
No.
For this one.
No.
Did you see the?
Actually, yes.
You see the picture that what's her name?
China.
No, that Chinye made of me.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna put that in a circle. Big Brother podcast, come here, boom,
Ooh,
boom, boom.
okay.
Yeah.
But you have to hold on. Is that picture yours now? Does she own copyright for it?
She sent it to me, so something like that.
You have to ask her. No?
She knows.
You okay?
Yeah.
Because
Cool.
I'm not trying to start a case. So.
You got your lawyer on job. Cool. All right, so I'm Big Brother Ugo. This is Big Brother, Big Sister. Sorry.
Huh?
Take 2. I am Big Brother Ugo.
Why you are Ugo. Why are you hitting yourself?
Why are you
like
hitting
that?
my chest?
Sorry, but that's what you did.
Yes, it's like my heart to yours.
Oh dear.
Shake my hand.
Oh dear.
I'm Big Brother Ugo. This is Big Brother Mimi.
Hey, yeah. Finish me. Finish me, why don't you?
Okay, I am Big Brother Ugo, and this is Big Sister.
I am
Mimi.
I am Miriam.
Miriam from South London.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah, you're north of the river now. Oh, north side. I don't know what I'm doing.
Anyways, let's get right into it.
Let's get right into it. So stuff that if you knew earlier would make your life easier. So I'm going to go straight into this one. Define your values.
Hey, why are you shouting at me so soon?
I mean, listen. Literally, the truth is, it's like if you define what your values are. And the truth of the matter is, most of us don't know what we actually value. Whether that we say the words of, whether that integrity, honesty, truth, blah blah blah. We say all these words, but does that really mean anything to you? Okay, we talk about our religion, Christianity, Islam. Does that really mean anything to you? And when I talk about your values, I'm talking about how does that reflect in your day-to-day life.
Okay.
Now, when you define your values, that breeds conviction. And so if you know what your values are, you can be convicted in your values, and then you can actually move accordingly. Now, when you now are questioning your values, or you don't even know what your values are, so if you're questioning your values, typically those are around the times where you do questionable things. So in the moments that I didn't know what my values were, those are the moments where I was doing I did some stuff that I was like, right, what do I actually believe in?
What did you do?
I didn't do anything. What? But it's just like when you don't know. Just do this one. This is not the time for gist. But like if you don't know what your values are, then typically you don't know what you care about. You don't know what your real boundaries are. You don't know what you aspire to. It's honestly something you care about. Is Christianity what you care about? Is charity what you care about? Is it helping people? Is it taking care of yourself? What is your values? What do you care about, and what are you convicted about? Now you need to define those for yourself, and it's not a simple thing to define. But again, with all things, you need to be ready to change. But when you change it, reevaluate them and then cement them, because you have to understand the moments when you're changing your values. Those are the moments where
your perspective change.
Not just your perspective. Those are your moments where you can do the biggest flop-ish stuff that you'd be like, shit, rah, how did I do that? This was because people will be out here talking about, well, me 2 years ago wouldn't have done this. Well, you now is doing this, and some people stay in limbo for years. Define your values. Define what's important to you and what's not important to you. And if things change,
change with it.
Change with it. The next one, again, I got notes out here because I was writing some stuff. This is not even all of it, but this is enough for now.
They don't care.
I know they don't care.
So keep going.
Okay, sorry. Shit then. The little things matter more. So I would say, I normally would say, like, obviously at home I was fixing stuff. My sister could break all the plates, break the cupboard and everything, but it's if she didn't wash the plate, that's what annoyed me more. So it was when you find yourself in relationships or just in terms of interacting with people, you find that the little things matter more. You know, it's like, I think that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
The little things matter more than the big things. So the big
because the little things add up.
Little things add up, and when they add up,
yeah, it's like, yeah, exactly.
You know,
it's,
I didn't order anything to this way.
So it's like, for example, you live alone.
Yeah.
But imagine when you're back home and then you like slippers to be kept in a specific place.
Yeah.
Just that thing alone is like constantly somebody's not put in the right place.
Yeah.
You're just like, bro, I told you.
Yeah.
In the morning. Why am I seeing slippers again? In the afternoon. And then tomorrow again. And it's like, okay, you yourself might decide to do it one time. Stop it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it's not so much of the little things, it's the principles that come with it. Because it's just like, you don't rate me enough. You don't even listen to me. So, yeah.
Yeah. But she like her, you don't listen to me, she throws that in every sentence.
But you don't listen.
I very much listen, very good.
But you don't show that you listen.
Anyway, Sha, you guys know, like, when it comes to little things, for example, if in a relationship, someone who does maybe the huge grand gesture every, 2 months, 2 months to do the big thing is probably not it's not the person in the receiving end isn't as happy as the person who remembers to get the person's favorite chocolate every week or every day, just on their way back, get their favorite chocolate or their favorite chewing gum, or just to say, oh, how are you today? And then just really mean it. Like little things like that. And you realize that those little things are probably what people care about more than the bigger things. So just the little things matter more.
The same with friends as well.
Yeah.
Like, people like they wait for birthdays or like a big ceremonial thing to show love.
Don't waste time showing people love.
Yeah. Like,
it's one of those ones where, like, people always say people don't give people their flowers while they're here.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you like, for me, these man know. If somebody pops into my head,
you're calling them.
There's likelihood I'm calling them. Like, there's people that,
even if it's 1 a.m. in the morning, people will call you.
Even if it's been like, there's people that I've not spoken to in 2 years or something like that. They popped into my head. I'm like, how's this guy doing? It's always funny. They're always like, what, everything okay?
Yeah, like, what do you want?
It's just like, how you doing?
Yeah, I just thought of you, mate.
Yeah. And so it's like, when you're approaching these things, don't waste time to show love. Don't waste time to show love to people around you. Don't think your love is implied because you say this person's a friend. The truth of the matter is, I remember one thing that my friend said in the poetry thing that I think people have heard it, but that's why I heard it the first time. Your friend? Yeah. When I was in uni. Okay. She said this. She did a performance, and I remember her saying that friends is a family you get to choose.
Yeah.
And so both for your family, your friends, even for people around you, acquaintances, colleagues, all those kind of things, the way you should, if somebody does something important to you or has helped you, let them know. Share the love.
Appreciation.
Don't waste time in doing those kind of things, because a lot of people waste time. Like, I hate people for, no, I don't hate people, but I hate the fact that a lot of people waste time.
Yeah.
Time is your most valuable asset. It's the most valuable thing and you can never get it back.
Yeah.
So that time you're using being angry at people, that time you're using not spending time with your family, that time you're using not reaching out, that time you're not using to respond to the person who's reaching out to you. Because some people talk about reaching out, some people are being reached out to, but they're not responding to it. It takes two to tango.
Come on.
Stop wasting time.
Yeah.
Just say happy hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Send a text. say the thank you.
Yeah.
Say the I love you.
Yeah.
But and again.
And then, so when we talk about what we're talking about now, like friends and they're showing appreciation. So like how in this day and age now, like it's so cool not to talk to your friends.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool to act like you're so distant. I hate that. I hate that so much.
Yeah.
And it's just like, for me, I like attention.
Mm-hmm.
Like I crave attention, and it's like, why you're my friend? Like this is not even like on a very deep thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're my friend, and it's like you go a week not talking. That's calm, even though that rarely ever happens. But
she's like, I'll run you down, man.
But a week, that's calm. 2 weeks, what's going on? And I call you 1 to 3 times and you don't pick, and I don't know, for whatever reason. Listen, I do understand that people are going through things, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, if these people are like your people, like your support system, then there's no reason why you shouldn't want to bring them along with to your journey. Or
I guess it comes down to, again, this is where it comes to, like, you know how you sometimes people say, I've said this, it's like some people, let me take myself out of it, but people will basically be like, this is my best friend. Yeah,
but your best friend is not you.
But your best friend is not,
you're not your best
friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So some people, you're somebody's best friend, but you're not that your best friend. You're not the best friend of your best friend.
No, but that's why you don't claim. You don't claim friend. You don't claim best friends, quote unquote. But everyone knows their place.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's only a few people just like that. Actually, no, there's a couple people, but there's a few people that I can genuinely say.
Those are your words.
I mean, I don't use those words likely, but I don't like to say this anyway.
No, but when I say you're my friend, you're actually my friend.
Yeah.
Like, who? we know I'm going.
Yeah,
with. Like, my friends are my friends. Other people are just people that I know, and I don't even. It's not even like a bite my words and no, you're my friend.
Yeah.
I know you. We get along. That's fine. But if you're my friend, like, I expect you. Okay, this is not expect, but if you're my friend, there are certain things that you show love, you show appreciation, and don't feel entitled to, like, I don't know how to say it. But how do we get here?
Showing love to friends and family. Don't waste time.
Yeah, just be expressive. That's what I'm saying. I don't like when people like act too tough or whatever.
Yeah, but then I guess again, it's like the whole best friend and best friend. It's again, the person you're talking about, have they made you into their support system for them to now be changing up?
Okay, so you're saying who you consider to be a support system, you necessarily their support system.
In some scenarios, yeah, not necessarily. Yeah. So it's in some situations you may be somebody's support system, but you're not necessarily their support system. So I guess this one segues into another point of, like,
segues. Sorry.
Them in terms of, and this goes to more my altruistic people, people who help people who like to help people. Take care of yourself, because people a lot of times help people and lose themselves in helping other people. So, for example, you be in situations where you're always asking somebody, how is your day, what's your problem, let me solve it, but you're on the call and that person never asks you how you.
Oh yeah.
You understand? And I've seen that situation. I mean, I've been in that situation, but it from what I understand is,
Yikes.
Yeah, but so you're not always, that person might be the first person you call. Like, very altruistic people, like people who help people are sometimes, I always identify them. I can catch them in the middle of a room. People who help people, a lot of them don't have people helping them, so they find themselves in a situation where, again, the dynamic of their relationships is them giving but then never receiving. Yeah. So the moments that they want to receive, is kind of long because nobody sees to come to give them. So it's kind of like when you're in those moments, you have to understand that you need to manage your emotions and protect yourself, and actually, one, create your boundaries, because most times you don't have boundaries in doing that. Two, this goes for everyone, but particularly people who like to help people who are typically hypocrites anyway.
A lot of us are.
A lot of us are hypocrites. In fact, if we're all hypocrites, that's fine. Be accept that you're hypocrites. But those that help people, ask for help. And for those people who don't like sharing, ask for help. Everybody, learn how to ask for help. You know, this is just the fact. Everybody, you need to understand that human beings, we are naturally codependent. We need each other. None of us, no man is an island, no village is one man. And so we recognize that we need each other's help. So, you know, now in times, for me, if I need help from in some certain individuals, I'll literally just say out there, like, I need some help in this. Because it's, you know, before, as most of us, we don't like...
You even ask for help, or you say, I want you to do this. That's what you do.
I say I need help.
You don't give people options, okay?
If you're no, so okay, this is a different aspect now. Okay. If you're in my team, it's different. So obviously, like, you know, for example, I'll go and say, okay, guys, I need help. We're gonna do a Tickzon event here and there. I need, like, I won't just say this is events happening. Who wants? I'll just say I need help. And people recognize it's help needed. But obviously, in a team setting, I recognize that to some extent I'm too nice in the way I operate as a managing of people. And so sometimes you have to understand, when you give two people too many options, they sometimes lack direction by having too many options.
Yay!
And so, yeah.
Because since we are kids out here.
No, but it's like when you're managing people, it's just managing people, and you learn. I've grown, definitely. But so sometimes when if you give a clear direction that you were hoping people will help you get that direction clearly together, you just have to make that direction yourself and just say, listen, you do this, and it's more trust me that I know you can do this, as opposed to you trusting yourself, because sometimes you might not trust that you can do this, but I trust you enough to say I'm trusting my business or my idea with you to do this. So I would just say, okay,
do this.
And so you just have to start. So I'm starting to grow. Like I need somebody who's a bit more firm, because I can be firm. But the issue again is that you have to understand the way you start it matters. So if I started firmer, you know, in your relationships, for example, dynamics build up from the beginning. So if I started firmer, it would have been easier for me to enforce some things, as opposed to starting nicer, softer, just myself, which is harder for you to now switch up. And now think of like the nice teacher. For when a nice teacher starts being like, shut up guys, blah, blah, no one takes him serious. But the teacher who from early was like, boy, you don't do no nonsense in my class. The one that from early was like strict, you know, when he or she goes like nice for a little bit, then you appreciate, you like, he's good, you know. And it's really about that. So how you set up your boundaries and you set up your settings is very important in facilitating what you're trying to do. And so that's, you know, something I've learned, and something that'll make your life easier. So when you're setting up the dynamics of your teams, whenever you're trying to make a change, you understand that. Stress. Okay, now I'll say this one first. So going on to, like, since we're talking businesses and starting ideas and all this kind of stuff, if you have any ideas and you have things you want to start, I've said this too many times. Most of you, your issue is not that you don't have resources.
Why are you shouting again?
Because I need to hear it.
Okay.
Most of your issues is not that you have no resources. It's like, oh, if I had more money, if I had more
people, had more money,
if I had more time, and there's people with millions and their businesses are still going down.
Oh dear.
What it is that you are not being resourceful enough. So the issue is never, most times, not resources, is resourcefulness. How resourceful are you being with what you have at hand? And most times you don't see how much you can be resourceful because you're not asking for help, you're not reaching out to the people you're friendship with, you're not listening to the person that could actually mentor you and help you out, you're not listening to your parents, you're not trying to bring anybody in, all these kind of things. You think you can do it by yourself, I'd be good. Because really, it's like, you know, most people will tell me that it's resources, this is what I'm lacking. But 9 times out of 10, people will bring me most of their ideas, and I'll be like, but you can do this, you do this. And most times it's not a thing of that you haven't thought outside the box, but you need to go and maybe meet somebody to help you change your perspective. Again, like I said in the part 1, whenever you don't have enough options, you got to think about more options.
Yeah.
So like for some of us, like, you know, if you go, fam, there's so many things out there. You go and read, Google. If you walk into your local library, you realize that there's bare things out there for you. There's bare things out there for you in so many aspects in terms of getting to wherever you're trying to go to. So whenever it's an idea, resourcefulness. Try to be resourceful. You have friends, ask them, tap them up. Don't beg them. Just tell them straight up, I need your help. Blah blah blah. And when you're operating these things, if you have an idea, I say it like this: if you have up to 51% of the idea formed, just do it. Just start it. Don't waste time. Just
Go
start
for
it.
it. Yeah.
Because it's like,
in your journey, you'll meet people halfway that will just jump on.
in fact, now I already know.
Yeah.
When I start things,
Yeah.
that along the way,
People are gonna drop.
people are gonna drop off, and 2, people are gonna jump on.
Yeah.
And there's certain people that I know that you're going to help change this situation for me.
Yeah.
They don't even know I'm talking to them, but they don't even know themselves.
They don't know
They don't know themselves. They ain't at home now sleeping.
Yeah.
They don't know. They don't know.
But yeah, essentially, if you have, even for example, just it comes down like, even if it just comes like revision, for example, yeah, people like, oh, I need colorful pens, I need this, I need that. You have a blue pen and a black pen and a paper. That's the color you need.
Yeah.
Just start.
Just start with everything you're trying to do. Just start. So
Yeah.
if you're whatever you're trying to achieve in this world, just start. And so, going on to the next one, that is, stress is legitimately the biggest killer. So when you are making your lifestyle, balance it to include rest.
Yeah.
Balance it to include good diet. Balance it to include good sleep.
But some people don't know when they're stressed.
Now then, that's beautiful. Some people don't know that when they're stressed, and a lot of people think that they need to get to a point where they are physically like drained. Oh my god!
Do you know when you're stressed? Because I feel like you don't.
A lot of the time, now I know when I'm stressed.
Okay.
You know, like whenever and the thing is, sometimes most people are functional when they're stressed. They don't even recognize that they're stressed. They're drinking caffeine and they're functional. And because they don't feel drained or they don't feel like tired or whatever, they think that they're not stressed. But no, you're stressed. From the moment when you realize that you are struggling to just eat, the moment when you're struggling to sleep, the moment when you realize that you're doing certain things, like I'll say to you or one of my friends, like, I don't know what's up with me.
Yeah.
Like I'm acting a bit.
I'm in it. I'm in my feelings a little bit.
I'm, you know, or like my appetite's not been working well, or like there are certain things, and stress on your body manifests physically. And so, you know, you look at from mental health to injuries to your immune system getting weak. All these things are identifiable to stress. Now, stress is literally the biggest killer. That's what makes your hair go grey. Your skin, most people don't realize that because they're stressed, that's why their skin. You know, the thing is, this is a good thing that people don't recognize, yeah? You see how, like, typical, let's say a girl enters a relationship, and then she comes to the room and their friend's like, oh, you're glowing. You're glowing. You must be in a relationship. And it's not that she got into a relationship and now she's got a whole different type of cocoa butter. You know what I mean? It's typically that
she's relaxed.
She's a bit more relaxed. She's a bit more happier. She's a bit less stressed, because when you're in the presence of somebody that you care about and stuff, like typically, especially at the beginning of a most relationship, it's a very not stressful situation. And so you see those people that, you know, they don't really notice it, but they're less stressed.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why they're glowing. And being less stressed actually comes in. That's why carefree people, you can see it on their face. They can see it on their face. But when you see that relationship now become a stressful thing, you see it on their face like, fam.
It's true.
You know what I mean? And so stress is a big killer. So identifying it is more about taking time to understand yourself. And so a big thing from that is take the time to understand yourself, understand who you are, because majority of you likely don't know who you are. And I know people, whenever I ask the question, who are you? Like, what do you mean I don't know who are you? Fam, listen.
What are you telling me?
When I started understanding more about myself, I was like, right, I don't know shit about myself. In fact, this is going to be something that you don't understand. The 5 closest people to you probably know you more than you know yourself. Like in the sense of like, okay, some people they'll be hearing things about themselves, be like, oh yeah, every time you're a bit stressed, you gotta put the remote over there. It's like, wait, did I really do that? Oh, it's like, okay, cool. It's like, you know, whenever like you know how like some people will be able to say that, oh, whenever he lies, his voice goes high pitch. He doesn't know his voice goes high pitch. You know what I mean? Like it's not necessarily that the people around you will know you better than yourself, but a lot of times in the beginning phrases of you understanding who you are, the people around you will understand will help you navigate that and let you understand who you are more than what you think. Yeah. And then on top of that, obviously this is a cliche. And obviously, when I sign out of most of the videos, I say invest in yourself, your health, and your wealth. But in terms of your health part, my friend, like it's not even a joke thing. Your health is probably, after your mental, your physical well-being health is probably the most thing that you have control over. Like you see my timetable for food, my timetable for exercise, all the things, water, everything, all that kind of stuff, and when you incorporate all these things into your life, you know, if you try and do it early, you won't see the benefits in the beginning. Now listen, understand this. I don't do diets. I don't really portion, and all my foods are enjoyable. In fact, when these guys see me how I treat myself very nice. Like I've got a tray. I'm out here like I got set in the table.
This guy does 3-course meal.
I'm doing lamb stock, lamb chop. And the thing is, I've got my whole food shop for this month. Yeah, I think I spent what £60.
I believe. Yeah.
£60, £70. You know, I've got lamb chops, everything 3 for $8. You know, people hear lamb chops expensive. 3 for £8 in Iceland. I'm doing my thing. Yeah. You go listen, Iceland, little Aldi, they know me. And then market, they know me. Yeah. But like you can eat well. I cook most of my stuff.
This guy is the king of enjoyment.
When
it comes to
on
food.
A budget.
On a budget.
But like take care of your food, take care of your health, take care of your sleep. You know, lastly, I recognized that when I started sleeping more and sleeping consistently, I was being less tired, I was being more productive, I was happier. When I was drinking more water, I remember I was drinking a lot of water. I woke up one day, I'm feeling good.
Yeah, I feel good. My skin is popping.
Yeah. Well, my skin is always popping, but hello.
You know who would this be?
You what? Chelsea. But yeah, so take care of your health in that aspect. Now,
where's the last one?
Let me see. What's your?
Yeah, you already said it.
I already said that. I don't know if I want to say this. Okay, let's see. I don't want to talk about nice guys. I don't want to talk about masculinity. I'm not sure if I want to talk about them.
Okay, we can do a different video.
Hope for the best, expect the worst. Yes. Okay, we'll go with hope for the best, expect the worst. Let me see.
What time is this? That's a 7:30.
You're
gonna do a video on my channel.
Okay.
What's the time?
9:26.
Okay. What time am I gonna go home?
You tell me. Alright, let me say this. Now, in this life, one of the things that stresses most people out is, and it's a buzzword that a lot of people end up finding out.
The future?
No, it's not just the future. They just control. And it's something that most people battle with, about having control over their life, control over their friends, control over these things. And, you know, there's certain things you can control. You know, and so I'm going to speak about two aspects of control. Now, in terms of like when something happens to you in life, one, you can control how you react. You can't really control what happens to you, but you can control how you react to what happens to you. Now, two, in terms of your control, you need to understand the limits of your control. You know, so your future, you have some control over it within what you can do today, but the result of it, you just have to accept it. And so there's something called the circle of control. So you have the circle of control, the circle of influence, and the circle of concern. And circle of control is the things that you have your physical or like more jurisdiction over, like from how you eat to how you dress to how you sleep, how you feel by yourself, whether you choose to be happy or not, from those kind of things, how you react to certain situations, you have the choice of that. Circle of influence, my friends, I can influence my friends. I could be like, you know, your family, you know, let's say you're doing a bad habit and you're fam, maybe you want to stop doing that, maybe you want to stop doing that. I might say it a couple of times, but I can't physically stop her from doing anything that I would say is not a good habit. Now, circle of concern. There are things that are concerning to me, like Nigeria is concerning to me. Right now, it's just in my circle of concern. I can't really do much right now. Boris Johnson, what he does, he's in my circle of concern, but I can't really do much. Parliament does what they do behind closed doors. I will not really do much. But it's like, how do I, the things, and don't get it twisted, as you go navigate through life, things that can go from your level of concern to your level of influence, now to your infrared level of influence to your level of control. And simultaneously, also well, things can go from your control to influence, like parents in your kids' circle of control. As they grow, circle of influence. And if you have bad relationship, you don't talk to them no more, circle of concern. You can't really do nothing. Yeah, that's how I mean. Things can move about. So you need to know how you control that. Now, speaking of Bojo and all those kind of things, politics. Yeah?
Is that concern or influence?
It's not even about control. I've left control. I've left control. I've come into, well, to some extent, this is a control thing. But whether you like it or not, everything around you in your life is a result of politics.
Yeah.
If you look in your room, from the picture frame to the type of ink that can be used, to the type of chair, to it being the standard, to the color, to the fabric, everything's politics. People came together and agree these things. Now, so you need to understand there's an importance within you being politically active. Firstly, register to vote, because that helps your credit score. But registering to vote and understanding how you can engage politically will give you the biggest change into your life. Like the reason why the bus fares on Oyster is £1.50 is politics. It has no real bearing.
£1.55, baby.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit, man.
Like when I saw, I said, what?
Really?
Yeah.
Because I used to tell people like this when it comes to politics. This is gonna sound a bit rude.
Okay.
But I was like, politics is the one religion that has a very tangible effect on your life.
Religion.
Yeah, it's the religion that has, because obviously, why I say religion is because the way people identify politically is very tribalistic. It's very religious.
Sentimental.
Yeah, so people are like, I'm conservative for life. I'm Labour for life. Me, I am
manifesto.
I am whoever's manifesto makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's like people, I would say it's the religion that makes the most impact in your life. And I'm not saying that to say religion doesn't make impact in your life, but you have to understand your religion is a personal choice. I don't know why, Baba G, why are you fighting us? Religion is a personal choice within your life. So whether you're a Christian, it manifests true to you, but doesn't manifest true to a Hindu. So Hinduism, again, simultaneously.
Yeah.
But one that collectively gets all of us within the confines of these borders is politics. And that results into your life. So if you want to see any change in your community, you have to understand you need to engage politically. And engaging politically isn't necessarily I need to go fight Boris or stuff like that. It's community engagement. Knock on your doors. Say neighbors come together. Community is still a political thing.
Your neighbor can be a serial killer. Sorry.
And that leads us to the next one, which is hope for the best but expect the worst. Your neighbor can be a serial killer, but you don't know. So hope for the best but expect the worst. And when I say hope for the best, expect the worst, don't go into every situation feeling, oh, this person's going to kill me or whatever. This is going a bit extreme. But it's just about understanding that for me, she knows, I take everybody as a human being. So everybody's fallible. So I hope for the best that, everyone's my friend, to be honest. But I hope for the best that she's got the best intentions for me. But I'm not surprised if she's going to try and come here, slide in, wipe out my bank account and run away. Look, because she's out here looking for sugar daddies. So I don't, these girls out here.
You don't have sugar daddy capacity.
Listen, I couldn't be a sugar daddy.
You don't have sugar daddy capacity.
Yeah, I couldn't be a sugar daddy. It's mad,
The integrity is not even there.
Yeah, man, I can't do it. Like anybody that comes to me looking for sugar daddy is actually in the wrong place. Go Turkey or Dubai.
You don't have the capacity.
Or go Nice for Dirty December. You find somebody. But yeah, so hope for the best, but expect the worst. But take human beings as human beings. Human beings are not inherently perfect or inherently good, and they're not inherently bad. So I tell people the reason why human conflict is guaranteed is what happens when my good and your good clash.
We fight.
Boom. And so it's all perspective. And so that's the reason why we all...
Can I leave?
Yeah. that's the reason why we all kind of will have internal conflict, because it's one of those ones where, like, if I'm doing what's right by my family, you doing what's right by your family, conflict will ensue. So that still comes back into a political aspect, but it's understanding that hoping for the best, expecting the worst is somewhat the most comforting situation, in the sense of, like, you go to your exam, you're hoping for the best. Okay, maybe not the best example. Not the best example.
Hope for the best.
Hope for the best, but it's like, in the sense of, if you expect the worst.
But it's true though, but you don't know what your examiner is gonna give you.
Fam, you know your A-level times, yeah. Fam, so you get 70 out of 100, but someone decided, okay, let's change grade boundaries. Yeah. Now 70 is going to be a B from an A. What's the meaning of this?
Do you know what I used to pray?
Well,
when I said, God, please, whoever's marking my exam paper, let them be chipping wine. Let them be happy and be just ticking and just, That's it. Because if they're in a good mood, because really truly your grades are dependent on you, the marker's feelings and emotions in that moment in time. And it's so ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Alright, let me get into some financial stuff,
Okay.
Now, again, we said money is a tool. Learn how to budget.
Okay.
Simple. Learn how to budget. Most of you, your problem is you don't have a saving problem, you have a spending problem.
Okay.
And it's specifically because you've not made saving a priority, and in turn of not making saving or investing a priority, you've not actually made your future a priority. You're living for today, and as opposed, what's that song? You're living for today's, for today, not tomorrow's satisfaction.
Because you're shouting.
So it's one of those ones where it's like you need to recognize that.
My father calling me?
Yeah. Is it record, like, as he's calling and it's recording? Is it still catching our sound?
I believe so. You're still recording.
Okay, so should we just continue? You're gonna call him now or call him later?
I'm not. And let's continue.
So, what was I saying? Spending problem. So most people have a saving problem, a spending problem, not a saving problem. And I don't care how much you are making. If I'm being very honest, I don't care how much you're making. You can still save something. You can still start working way to secure, and people will be like, yeah, we're struggling, blah blah blah, but again, you need to make it a priority, because it's like, when you analyze some people's lives, they still make time to enjoy, they still make time to go out anyhow, they still make time to buy the latest clothes, they still make time to do all these things, but they don't make the time to save a little, invest a little bit. And it doesn't, saving, I used to work, but listen, people who don't know me don't understand what I've worked minimum wage. I remember earning £5.30 an hour. Yeah. I was still able to save. And not because I wasn't struggling, but you have to kind of change the priorities. So it's like, for now, if I need to save more money, cool. Food budget needs to change. I need to now cook more, or less going out or something like that. Things need to change, but still at the same time, I will change things, but still make it a holistic life that I'm living. So when it comes to your finances, gaining control of your finances is probably the best bedrock of you controlling your life. So that's budgeting. How you budget your money reflects on your priorities. Everyone has a budget because most people spend the money the same way every month, and that just expresses how they feel about themselves. So understand, if you're securing your money, or not even just securing your money, your relationship with money will affect your relationship with other people. Okay. So money for a lot of people is an anxiety-ridden topic. It's like, it reminds them of how their parents handled money. It reminds them, people within relationships, it's okay when we're just doing you and me, we're doing separate. But when money comes together, it's like now you feel like you're losing control. You now start bringing money habits into this. You start expressing this. You need to deal with this stuff. You need to deal with this stuff. You need to reconcile how you relate with money, whether you come from a scarcity or abundance mindset point of view, whether you come from an insecurity point of view or a security point of view. And so you need to understand that your relationship with money will affect the way you relate with other people, as well as your relationship with your parents and your family will also affect how you relate with other people, depending on whether you reconciled with it, gone to therapy or not, or done the work on yourself, which is, again, mentally draining but needs to be done. Again, into the finances, you have a credit score, be smart, so try to build that up, because it will matter, and maybe it doesn't matter for you right now, but it will matter in the future.
How often should you check your credit score?
You don't even need to check it that often, to be honest. Like, the thing about it is that people shouldn't be pedantic. If your credit score is bad, make it good.
Okay.
Yeah, work on it, and then once you get it good or around good or excellent, don't worry. Just like continue what you're doing. Because some people, I get it, like they see their credit score is bad and they get very pedantic about it. It's like, oh my days, need to check every day. I need to check every day. I need to check every day. No, you don't really matter. What you need to do is that you once you get it to good, and don't get it twisted. Like, depending on what you're going for. If you get, because some people feel so proud that they have excellent.
Excellent. Is it outstanding?
It doesn't really make it. It doesn't really. At a certain point, having good or high good, it doesn't make a difference. In fact, depending on what you want, getting good or excellent makes no real difference on what you're trying to get. You understand? It's like a threshold kind of thing. And so, once you get it, it's just about continuing the habits you're doing to maintain it. And so, when you really care about it, is about 6 months before you're going to do something serious. For that, it's about 6 months before you're going to do something serious. Where's your charger? It's about 6 months before you do something serious is when you should care about your credit score. Okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna riff on some of them because you need to hold that for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright. So.
But you've been talking quiet.
Yeah.
I really need to pee.
Yeah. Now you're reminding me I need to pee. But actually, we can pause it.
Okay. Go on then.
Do you want to pause it or just end it at 50 minutes?
Yeah, keep going because I need
to. So.
Oof, I don't know how long this pee is gonna be.
Actually, go and pee.
Well, we haven't finished.
Okay. So in the financials, credit score, budgeting, start investing from early. Yeah. Index funds. That's important because.
Do you want to mention the apps that your go-to apps again?
My go-to apps is Trader 212. There's other ones out there like eToro, Moneybox is also alright, but then again I have an issue with their ISAs and stuff like that.
Right. I use Moneybox.
Yes, again, Moneybox is similar to Wealthify. That's the thing. Most people don't. But again, a lot of people who invest in trust like these money boxes or their bank's money manager, blah blah blah. When most times you can really do it very well by yourself, doing an index fund, getting better returns, just putting that in there in like FTSE 250 to 100, S&P 500. This is not financial advice because I am not your financial advisor. This is just me talking because
he can.
So when it comes to finances, understand that a lot of the decisions that you make are financial decisions. Now, if you're a girl or a guy, I don't really care how you feel about this. Go and learn how to cook. It's literally probably the most biggest financial decision that you make for yourself. Learn how to cook, both in terms of your health, both in terms of it being cheaper than buying rubbish like domyo pasta thing, and that's what you're eating.
And your wealth, honey,
and your wealth, save money. Saving money, unless you're like me sometimes, because I'll be cooking there and I'll be like, oh my God.
Yeah. I need to visit you more.
She just wants to visit me to come and eat food.
Yeah.
But yeah, so take care of your finances in that aspect. When it comes to finances, be careful how you be careful when you're borrowing money. Yeah. So for me, in terms of like, I don't really borrow money to family. If I'm gonna give my family money, I just give it to them. It's one of those ones you never go.
I was gonna add the borrowing money thing. Don't give money that you wouldn't spend anyway. Yeah.
So there's, again, like I've said before, like in the previous video, what you have, money that you have and money you can afford are two different things. So if you cannot afford the money, no is a full sentence. No, I would tell you I cannot afford it because the money is like, if this is your rent, but somebody said I really need it right now. Again, like my sister over here will say, you're never somebody's last. You're never somebody's last option. There's always a way for them to find their way out. Yeah. And I know in those moments it feels pressured, but when it comes to money matters, like don't put yourself in a situation that's hard. So don't. I would say like this, similar like I don't hire people I can't fire.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hire somebody I can't fire. Don't give money to somebody you can't chase down tomorrow for the money.
Yeah.
And especially if you're going to borrow money to somebody, you need to apply a huge level of trust to be able to give this person kind of that money. Because for me, it's like, if to give somebody money, you have to trust that they're A, gonna pay you back. B, that if you ask them for the money, like if it's a parent or something like that, and you know, again, whether you trust them to be responsible with money or not, for you to go ask them for money now, you know, a lot of people think that in the moment, do you know the most honest, the most like, what's it called, convincing people is people who want something, and then when they get it, they're no longer the most convincing people. It's almost like, what do you want? Like I know somebody right now who's chasing somebody for some money. It's like, and in the moment when they needed it, they trusted them, but it wasn't what it came down to be. So when you're handling money,
don't borrow, don't give some. So you know, it's like, so this is when someone asks me, can you borrow me so and so month, I'll pay back so and so time. Like I give you with the intention of not getting it back, and then if it's above what I would expect not to get back, I won't give you. I say I don't have.
Oh yeah, if the money, listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. If the money has its neck, because for me, I'm always again on the financial thing. Give your money a job. Most times, most of my money has a name to it. So if it's like I can't afford it to do it,
I can't afford it money.
If I can't afford the money to this, then it's literally like I don't have it. Because what it's going to is probably more important for me than what you're trying to go for it. Not that I wouldn't, you know, come out to help,
or anything,
but it's like you need to apply wisdom to this. And plus, on top of that, something that I didn't mention before is, but mind your tongue. Yeah, like manage what you say and manage what you speak, and be very intentional with what you say. I always tell people, like, I will never make a promise I can't keep. You know, that's the reason why for me, if I say I'll try, I typically will try. But if I say I'm going to do something, I have to do it
because his integrity is hanging on it.
Boom. And so when you say things like, so somebody who tells me, for me, I'm like this. I'm very clear in what I'm doing. If you tell me A, I'll take it as A. If A changed to B, come and communicate that A has changed to B. Don't let me just wait. Like, don't just air me and then I'm expecting A and then you're like, oh, this happened. And so for people that I trust in terms of their word and stuff like that, if you're very clear what you're saying, clear what you do, it's just, it builds trust, it builds integrity. So now, if you're the borrower in this situation, if you say you're going to pay it next week, pay it next week. Now, if it's going to change, let them know it's going to change before time. Don't let them get to the day and be like, oh my days, like you didn't know 2 days before.
The last thing you want to do is chase people up. Like, it's not cute. Both on the person being chased, because it's just like, fam, it's only £20. Like, why you stressing me like this? And it's like, you didn't have that same energy
when you're asking for the money.
But guys, just be wise with your money. You know, and watch our previous videos, his previous videos on money management, and he has a money management too.
Yeah, I'm not.
That will be updated.
It's being updated.
Yeah.
There's only so many hours in the days, guys.
Yeah.
It's only so many hours.
No, it's okay. You try your best.
Yeah.
I'll round it up.
Yeah, you can just pause it and then I'll round up when you come back. I saw your leg shaking.
Okay.
I forget why I ended though, but I'm not.
Financial advice.
Financial. So we're talking about borrowing money, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, like we were saying, we had technical issues. Like we were saying, guys, just when it comes to handling money, be smart about it. Understand how that affects your relationships. It's not necessarily that money changes people, but people's relationship with money affects how they operate with money. So when you're loaning out, be smart about it, and don't, you know, give your money a job. Budget. Give your money a job. Don't just give out money just to give out money's sake because people ask for it. Learn how to say no. Get out of your comfort zone. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable for the right reasons. And then from a mental health point of view, take care of your mental health. You know, like I've said, make your life holistic enough to have boundaries, have rest, have activities. Take every opportunity that you have. For those going to university, do all the skills and everything that you can do, and take advantage of every society out there. I did dance. Can't dance, but did dance. Ballroom dancing.
I thought it was tap dancing.
No. I was looking. You know what I actually want to do? I want to do break dancing, but I did like waltz, ballroom dancing, all of that stuff. Okay. So yeah, if we're in a function, I'll steal a girl.
He's gonna get jiggy.
So yeah, take care of your mental health because that is, you know, it's probably the most important thing you have. Take care of how you think. be intentional about what you think about, because how you think about yourself and how you think about the world is what manifests in your actions. So a lot of people look at it like, okay, how do I change the world? You change the world, like there's this hip hop song where it's like the revolution would not be televised. It's like it goes, the revolution will not be televised. But basically the whole point of it was that the revolution won't be televised because the revolution happens in the mind.
Okay.
So you have to change up how you think to change the result. So your mindset will determine where you're going to be. So if somebody comes to me and tells me I want to do X, Y, and Z, from the way they communicate that to me and the way they carry themselves, I will know where they're going to do that. It was.
You're tired.
I am tired.
Alright, let's just end it.
So yeah, we're about to end it, but so as a rapid fire kind of as a rapid fire of things that if you know this, your life will be easier. Simple. Learn how to say no. Learn when to speak up. Learn when to shut the fuck up.
Aye.
Remember, know when you should be the first person to speak in the room and know when you should be the last person to speak. They have different things. First person in the room could set the pace, but sometimes could be irrelevant. Last person to speak can be more respected and can round off the thing. Sometimes you need to listen. Know that times you should just listen more than you speak. You got 2 ears, 1 mouth.
For a reason.
To become a good leader, to become a great leader, you need to be a decent follower. You need to be a good follower to be able to be a great leader. And if you want to be a good follower or a great follower, you need to be able to be a decent leader, because you need to be interchangeable. Understand that in this life, your destiny may be to help somebody else realize their destiny. You might be Muhammad Ali's trainer as opposed to be Muhammad Ali, and that's an okay position to be. You know, being first is not as important than doing your best. Now, my kid came to me and got let's say 15th in the class, 15th out of 20. My simple question is, did you do your best? If the answer is yes, then cool. 15th was your best. It's not bad. Somebody has to be second. Somebody has to be third. We can't all be first. So it's okay to not be first. You need to understand that. Learn to love yourself. Learn to forgive others and to forgive yourself. Learn to understand that relationships are very reflective. So you do attract the people, and you need to change what is it that you know, if you attract bad guys, typically it's because those are the people you're accepting into your life. Also because they have traits that you may be attracted to, which the person who's maybe a bit more humble, a bit more passive might not necessarily exhibit. So understand that your relationships are very reflective and you can learn a lot from yourself. Another thing that is good for you to know that you can learn earlier, a lot of people, when they say their relationship failed, is because their relationship didn't get to marriage. For me, I define it very differently. I feel like a lot of people had very successful relationships and they just didn't realize it was a successful relationship. A successful relationship isn't a relationship that went to marriage. It's a relationship that did its course. You guys learned and understood who you were, learned from what you did from that situation, and you left there having hopefully made each other's lives better, but realized going forward it's not where we needed to be for that, if that makes sense. It's not that, okay, you broke up with her, it has to be, you know, a bad thing. No, it's not. It's like it came, did its course, and you just realize this person is not going to move on to me until next week. So you can have 3 successful relationships, 5 failed relationships because of the way they ended or started or how they went about. But I understand every relationship, every interaction you have with somebody should teach you something. So go into it understanding that you need to learn from it. This life is very simple. Be adaptive. This life is very complicated. But some of the things that you think is deep, it's not that deep. Some of the things that you think is not deep is really deep. Laugh. Laughter.
Smile.
If you listen, I be smiling, but the smiling, you know, one of the good feedbacks when I smile, I see someone smile, now that person smiling is making me smile. It's like, oh my days, we just really did this, man. Yeah, they're all smiling. You know what I mean? So laughter, yeah, is literally one of the best things, best medicines. Like, no matter how angry you are, somebody makes you laugh. It's like you know, you're squeezing your face.
It's like, I can't believe it just made me laugh like that.
And I'm not gonna lie, this is something twisted that I do, but even when I'm going through bad things, I banter about my situation. Like I'm provoked. I really banter about the situation. And the good thing about laughing about your situation, no matter how, I don't care how deep it is. I think, to be honest, if you know me, there's no limits to what I will joke about. But the good thing about joking about stuff is that when you joke about stuff, it allows you to see what you're talking about in a different perspective. Now in the past, I've had situations that were deep and that I joked about, and I realized Hey, it's not that deep.
It's not.
It's not that deep. And then like it's similar on the flip side. I joked about it and realized, fuck, this is kind of deep. And so just joke about your situation to give yourself that perspective. Sometimes talking to strangers is good about your situation because you don't have any emotional investment in this person, or you don't have to see any repercussions. Because sometimes we don't like to talk to our loved ones because we don't want our loved ones to worry. So it's this random circle, and we don't want them to be judging us or whatnot. Oh, I'm feeling weak, blah blah blah. So talk to a random person. Speak to a therapist because they're there to help you. The therapist have their own therapist, so don't worry about them. You pay them the money, lay it down on them. Work on yourself, because realistically, anything you don't work on, you carry into your relationships, and if your relationships keep on flopping, it's because you're not working on yourself to be the best version of yourself. So if you're over here expecting somebody that you want to be the best version of themselves, but you're not the best version of yourself, then what are you doing?
What you doing?
What you doing?
Is what he asks.
And if you don't know how to love yourself, why are you over there expecting somebody to love you? Not that they will love you, but they don't extend.
It's harder for you to even acknowledge the love that they're being.
And if you don't know how to love yourself, how am I expected to know how to love you?
Question and answer.
If I want you to love me and I don't even know how to love me, it's a big question. We're all confused out here.
What do you want me to do?
Open the door, close the door. I am so confused.
Stop saying it. But with that said,
this has been the Big Brother podcast. Obviously, our aim is to turn hindsight into foresight, but here is the wealth of knowledge experience. So we'll be talking about a lot of things. So you could, we'll be throwing it out there. We can't really do lists. That's the reason why it's in a podcasty kind of thing. This is powered by Tickzon Mentorship Scheme. Again, just to let you know about some of the things that we're doing. Tickzon Mentorship Scheme is a scheme that we created to basically help initially to take people who are 18 plus to go back to schools, secondary schools, youth club, to educate young people about stuff that's not being taught in schools around financial literacy, mental health, self-worth, self-esteem, career progression, politics, society, all of the above, things that are not taught in school. And because there's a lot of things that in this life, coming out of university, I recognize there's 3 things that matter. 1, how you see yourself, mental health, how do you see yourself in your self-esteem, self-love, all that kind of stuff. Where are you going? Purpose. Where is your purpose? What are you trying to do with your life? Are you going to school? Are you going to uni? Are you working? Are you taking a break? Well, one. And what's my money saying? And if you've got those 3 things working, it's calm. And so here it's been expanded. It's not necessarily just for young people. The reason why we said young people is specifically because it's easier for us to target them and get them to help them out. But in my experience, I've been doing stuff with older people, younger people, all ages. So it's a case of which that we're just here to help. And ultimately, you could be part of us, join to be a mentor or a mentee, or you can be both a mentor and a mentee. So we have workshops happening every Thursday on Zoom or in person, depending on what time of life this comes out and you see this. This could be in 2025, outside of pandemic or pandemic number 15. Knock wood, I was joking. Then we have our men's and women's group, which are both accountability and growth groups, which you can join. You get co-mentored by individuals to help grow yourself to be the best version of yourself. And obviously there'll be cross-mentoring in between. It's private mentoring groups or consultations where you can come and book a session with somebody within the team for something a bit more in-depth to your situation, and you can assist us in our public surgeries and all this other stuff that we've got going on. But check us out. Check out our website, check out our LinkedIn, YouTube, subscribe, like, all of that kind of stuff. And one of the most important things that you need to understand and learn in this life and try to get, 2 of the most important things you need to try to attain in this life is 1, discern through all the advice that you're going to get in this life. You're going to get a lot of people try to advise you, tell you this is right or wrong, including ourselves. Discern from the advice, because different advices are needed for different purposes, and not all of them are right. So and also discern from the people that you're listening to. And the second and last thing that I'll say here is that take time to find what your purpose is, because when you find what your purpose in life is, you can start living on purpose, and then that's the whole point of living, so you can impact somebody else's life. Your purpose is never just for yourself. If your purpose you think is just for you to sustain yourself and you're just in survivalist mode, you're in survivalist mode. You're not really out here on a purpose. You're just surviving. You're not living your purpose. But your purpose will always realize to help or affect somebody else's life in some way, shape, or form. And so that has been us. This has been Big Brother Ugo. This is Big Sister, Big Brother Mimi.
Big Brother? Am I? I know what. Okay. Yeah, I am that.
Thank you for watching.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, follow,
and
all
also
of that.
follow her at Mimi Uzoma, MIMI
I'm still
space
gonna put it on the screen.
UZOMA. And this
Yeah. Follow Tickzon. Follow us on socials at Tickzon MS, and please engage with our content, share it, like it, comment on it, because we read all the comments and we try to respond as much as possible.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Until then, this is.
Au revoir.
This is.
Kachifwo.
No.
Bafwo.
Don't do that. Don't do that. This has been Tickzon Mentorship. Okay. Bye bye.
Nonsense.
I did it for the hustle, did it off the chains. Let them doubt it for a second, homie. Now they know my name, so go get your cash up, go get your bags up. Say fuck what they heard, and fuck what they say, and fuck what they ask, bro. Cause I came out of nowhere, I came out for nothing, I came out for losses, I came out for struggling. My ass said I'm busting, I'm telling the public, you can't tell me nothing.